Hi, I'm Debbie from Simply Special Crafts. Today we're continuing with our Stepping into Christmas series. This is video 2 of 4. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, we're going to begin by taking a quick tour through the cards that we'll be making today. Here's the 2 candle cards. This one is called The True Spirit of Christmas. Next we're going to do Wagging Winter Tails. For fairly obvious reasons.
So cute.
Super cute.
All kinds of different puppies. Can you name them all?
A lab. That looks to be a boxer. A lab puppy, a German Shepherd, and a what do you call those? A Jack Russell.
Okay, good job.
That would be my guess. You guys can correct me if I think you had a different thought, but that would be my guess. How about some deer? Love, this is my favorite one of this kit. Beautiful stag by the little creek, thinking of you at Christmas time. May the blessings of Christmas be with you all year through. And may beautiful moments and happy memories surround you with joy this Christmas. I want to show you the images in this one and explain why I'm going to do 2 cards. You can see that we have a really good image on our topper sheet. We have a good image of the cathedral here. But once you take this one off, there really are only 3 large images. So I thought, it's a total of 4 large images, I guess, and then a few little pieces. And I thought it was better to do 2 cards really fully than to do cards that look skimpy. So I decided on this one just to do 2. Let's go ahead and start by divvying up our pieces. You can hear Teddy and Teddy's friend Bentley in the background, so we may hear a little bit of puppy noise here and there. I apologize in advance for that, but puppies will be puppies. And I'm going to put this one for sure with this one because this doesn't have, we don't really have a complete image for the cathedral otherwise, so I'm going to put that all there. And then this one we're going to build with just the candles. So I'm going to take the largest one and go to that. Actually, maybe I'm not. I'm going to take this larger one. And take this larger one and go here, simply because this includes all of exactly the same images as that one. That's kind of a waste, so I'll put it over here. And then I'm going to put these 2 next images both on this one that has only the candles. So I'll take that one. And this one, the puppies are kind of complaining in the background because we're working instead of playing with them. They would much prefer to play. I'll take that one here. And then I'm just going to kind of divvy up the smallest images between the 2. A few in each spot. It seems like the smaller the pieces are, the harder they are to punch out. Just take your time though, and usually they're pretty well die cut, so they'll pop out. Okay. I think we're pretty good. I'm going to confirm my number of images. We got 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 on that one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so it looks like I need to move 1 back the other way. I'll take this one. And we got 8 and 8 that way. I'm going to go off camera for just a minute and layer these up. I'll be right back. Okay, while we were off camera, I went ahead and I layered up both of our images, and they look terrific. And then I went ahead and covered my card. We're going to go ahead and do this card first. So what I'm going to do here is go ahead, since my card is 5 inches wide, and I want fairly wide margins on this one, I'm going to make this one 4.5 inches wide by 6 inches, because I want a 1/4 inch margin at the top and I want 3/4 at the bottom. So I'm going to make this one 6. Is that going to work? No, I have to trim this a little bit. That's what I did. Okay, let's take some off of here. And then we'll make this a total of 6 inches. I didn't want to cut off my flame. There we go. So I'm going to put this on here. I've got it a little shorter than I wanted though. I think it's still going to be okay. Let's see what it looks like. I may cut my card down a little bit. If I went too short, I'm clipping off a border here, which I want to go under my image. I'll pop that off, and let's take a look when I put my border down here, if I like what I'm seeing. I think that's still going to be too long. So, since I cut this a little shorter than I wanted, what I'm going to do next is cut my card down, because that's always an option. I'm going to cut it from, I'm going to cut it to 6.5 inches. Just a little, darn it. Do you ever have one of those days, guys? Trying to make cards, I got puppies howling, can't seem to measure. Okay. And now, believe it or not, I have to take a little bit more off here. Okay, let's see how we are here. I actually like it, guys. Let's go with it. Putting that down there. Remember, when you're trying to center something, best tool for that job is tape flags. Instead of peeling my tape completely off, I'm going to put 2 pieces of tape. I'm going to create a little tail for each one of them at the top by just exposing about 1 inch of adhesive. Pull those tails out to the side, like that. Then I'm going to position my card right where I want it. And when I'm fully satisfied that I have everything in the right place, then I'm going to hold it firmly and pull those flags. Simple as that to get it, to give you really nice margins all the way around. Next, I'm going to take this strip that we just clipped out, and I'm going to cover up this border at the bottom. I didn't think was very pretty, but this one's quite pretty. So I'm going to cover the not so pretty strip with this beautiful foiled version. And I know that this is 4.5 inches wide, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. And it should fit really nicely right inside. Just a tad more off. I like to, usually with these narrower borders, I will glue rather than tape. At least we have puppy playing sounds in the background instead of puppies complaining now. I dropped my border on my mirror board and got it messy, but fortunately I have a baby wipe coming up. So I'll wipe away most of the glue and then I will touch it up with a baby wipe. Some days. And not as fast as you used to be there, Bryce. Okay. Heck of a good editor, though. Sending love and best wishes. Or blessed Christmas wishes. I'm going to send sending love and best wishes on this one. I'm going to put this right here with some foam squares. And I actually, when I tied my original, I believe I tied a bow for that, and I'm not sure it ever got on there because I still see a bow sitting here with best glue ever dry. So I think I'm going to put this. Let's see if I want it. Actually, I think I do. It's going to look really nice. So I'm going to go a little higher here. Love and best wishes. I'm going to put that little double bow right here because I think it really brings that red out nicely, don't you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, original. You can do it with or without, but I think they're both pretty. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit of glitter glue to my creation here. Not a lot. You can certainly do this with our Quickie glue pen and regular glitter. I happen to be using Stickles this time because I'm not really in a hurry. If I were in a hurry, I would definitely use my Quickie glue pens because they dry way faster than Stickles does. But since I have some time, I'll use my Stickles this time. My Stickles is being just a little bit sticky in the bottle. I need a pen now, please. Had to clean the nozzle on my Stickles there. You can just do that with a little straight pen. What I was saying is that it's easy to use Stickles if you have some time for it to dry. But if you don't have a lot of time for it to dry, the Quickie glue pen and our ultra high quality glitter can be a better choice because they don't require the same kind of drying time that we have with the Stickles. And instead of glittering up a bunch of things, I think it looks really, really classy to just put some glitter on the pine cones and the flames only. I like the way that looks. It makes the pine cones really stand out. And of course the flame of the candle, which is really the point of this card, stands out pretty too. When I'm putting my glitter on, I'm just kind of outlining the little petals of the pine cone. I don't want too much, just a nice light coating around them. Make just the pine cones glitter. Okay, I've already pre-lined this so we can see what it looks like. And that card is finished. Let's put that aside. And now let's do our other one. We have this piece of cardstock left over. We're going to use a 5x7 card. I'm going to use a piece of this right here. I have a lot happening on this with the extra corners, so I did not line this with, or cover my card with mirror board. I just didn't think it was necessary with this one. So I'm going to pop a couple pieces of tape on here, and we'll line our card. Not align it, we will cover our card. Push my tape strips down, peel my tape. If you have any trouble peeling your tape, make sure first of all that you're rubbing it down. Second, if you're still having trouble with it, tear it in the center and pull back both directions. It'll come right off. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and cover my card. stuck my finger where I was testing my stickles. I got nice glittery hands. Teddy's excited about that. Actually, I'm not sure if that's Teddy or Bentley, but one of them's excited about that prospect. The two puppies are in the playpen while we get our video filmed, and they're really kind of thinking that they'd rather be out running around and raising Cain. Now, see, I got that just a tad bit off there. I'm going to put that on my... Move that over there, please. Put that on my paper cutter. One of the nice things about having a really good quality paper cutter is you can cut a piece like that. And it comes out great. If you don't have one of these, put that on your Christmas list. It is just a fabulous crafting tool. We have them. You will also, depending on what area of the country you live in, if you're on the other coast, it may be less expensive to purchase it on Amazon. But if you're close to us, certainly within pickup range, see me, because I can offer you a nice value. I'm going to pop these two corners out here. I'm going to put my corners right above. The two dogs are playing with the food bowl. If you're wondering what that strange scraping noise is, we have fed them twice already. We found that was a really nice way to keep them a little bit quiet during the video, but then they decided, because they're puppies, that they needed to play with the food bowl. And that's what they'll do. Gotta love puppies. I actually totally adore my puppies. One of them's mine, the other one's Lisa's. Lisa, if you watch this video, you'll know I love you if I take your dog when I'm making videos. Okay, I'm gonna glue this down. I can glue it, I can tape it, I can do whatever I want. I'll run a little bead of glue around here. Lots of people ask me, what do you put in those fancy little glue bottles that you like so much? I put in Cosmic Shimmer. I love, there's the downside of glue when you do that. It's really kind of a disaster waiting to happen tonight. I spilled my Coke earlier in class, and we all ended up dropping what we were doing and grabbing the Swiffer and other things to clean up my Coke mess. And I'm dropping my topper and getting glue all over, but you can see there that because of the coating of the adorable scoreable cardstock, it's got that little bit of plastic film over the cardstock that helps it retain its coloration when it's creased. It is perfect for just being able to clean up little spills like that one without any incident at all. I just wiped it off and dried it off, and it's fine now. Putting a little glue on both of those corners, and I'm just setting them out maybe a quarter of an inch or so from the corner. And I'll look and make sure they're even, which they weren't, so I'm going to move that one up a little bit. That's the glue bottle. Not only is it an odd shape and it makes it nice, but I can just reposition them. So this one is finished. I put the little joy tag on the pillar. I've already pre-lined that. I'm going to put this pretty Blessed Christmas Wishes on the inside of this cathedral card because I think it's beautiful and it'll look really good there. And that will bring us to the end of our first card set. Let's move on and look at the next one. Okay, here's the cardstock for our Wagging Winter Tails. Clearly that's going to be one of my toppers here, and this will be one of my toppers. And then I'm going to look here and choose my most complete image that is not one of those two, and I think I'm going to go with this one in the upper left corner. Nope, I'm not. I'm going to go with this one right here because the boxer's body is full on this one. So I'm going to use this for my third card. As normal, I'll kind of go through and distribute the pieces. I have a very nearly complete image here. So I am going to take this piece out because it doesn't show the boxer's body. And I want that to show from my background. So I think I'll put this one on here. I'll put on here. I'll put this one on here. And I have some other nice size pieces here. I got the Jack Russell in the front digging in the snow while everybody else gets their picture taken. I'm sure if you have a Jack Russell, you'll agree that that would be typical kind of behavior. Those are really playful, really insistent on their own way dogs. Here's this beautiful lab in the back. We'll add him. I do like the German Shepherd here. Okay, so we got 3 layers of the Jack Russell on that one. I like that a lot. I have 3 layers on the Jack Russell on this one. I have 2 layers here. Plus, I'm going to go to the 3rd layer on the lab's head, because I like to have at least one area where I have 3 layers if possible. I'm going to bring the German Shepherd face into this one. I'm going to bring this adorable puppy. Let's see. I'll bring the puppy over here. Then we have these wonderful vines, pieces of the tree and the bird that are only in this prepared image. So I'm going to go there, and I'm going to put this one here. So it's getting a lot of extras here. And let's see, I have a gift that is next to the puppy. Who got the puppy image? You did. Let's put this gift there for now. I'm going to put this hat on the German Shepherd back here. I've got the adorable little puppy face. Let's try him here. And we'll try the Jack Russell face over here. Now I'm going to count up my pieces and see how I did divvying things up. And as you know, just establishing ground rules over there, they're 5. I like to kind of count my pieces, and I can shuffle things at the end if I need to. So I've got 5 total toppers there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total toppers on this one. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this one. Since that's got all those vines, I think I'll move the German Shepherd maybe over here. We'll start layering those up and see how they look when we put them together. I'm going to go off camera for just a minute here when we layer these up. Okay, so we are ready to move here. So I have this set that I have matched up to do this card. I have this littler set that I have ready to go to do this card. And if you're paying attention, you're thinking, but wait, how'd you come up with that out of this one? Let me show you how I did that, because it's actually a little bit clever, guys. Just a little clever. I'm going to take a 5x7 card, and I'm going to cover it with silver mirror board. So that's my first job, is to get my card covered with mirror board. Well, my first job is to find the card in my mess on my desk. The second job is to cover it with silver mirror, so we'll be right back. Okay, so I have my 5x7 card covered with my mirror board. The next thing I'm going to do is go back to this sheet that we took our elements from. And I'm going to do some trimming up here on what normally would be a throwaway piece. These corners can be used, but in addition to the corners, I'm going to use the frame that it sits in. So I am trimming out my frame, and I'm working right along the foil line for the next adjacent piece. So I'm making my topper by cutting this about 1/8 of an inch wide, and I'm working my way around this frame set. You could cut this, whack this off, and do this all on your paper cutter if you wanted to. Or if you're a little daring like me, you can just cut it out with scissors. And I'm just going to cut myself a frame out of that throwaway piece. Here we go. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to go to my mirror board, and I'm going to glue my frame in place right here. Actually, I'm not yet. Wait, don't glue that down yet, because we have a little paper piecing to do. Let's cut this. Let's see how wide our frame is. Our frame is going to be a little over 4 1/4. Was that right? 4 1/4. A little less than 4 1/2 wide. 4 3/8 wide. So I'm going to use this frame around this image. I have to retain enough of this piece right here to do this corner. So I'm going to cut my cardstock here, even though that's going to leave me with a shorter piece here. I'm not worried about that, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this off so that I know I have the pieces that I need. So I'm going to take my cardstock and I'm going to cut this 1, 2, 5 inches wide. This is the outside border. I know I'm going to use that. I'm going to cut this to 5 inches wide across. And now I know that I have my 5x7 piece I need for my other card. I'm just going to set that aside for use with this. So put those aside. Then I want to save this piece for use here. So I am going to cut this one to 4 1/8 inches wide. You see me flipping it over. I can either flip it over or turn it the other direction. So I can cut it this way. And I'm going to cut myself a 4 1/8 inch piece here, which will get me this card. And then I'm going to use my remaining piece for this card. Now, but wait, it's not complete enough to use there. But oh, it is, because we're going to cut this one. What did we say this is? 4 3/8 wide. So I'm going to cut this to 4 3/8 wide. And this will fit very nicely here. Just going to slide the pieces these outside pieces right over the frame a little bit. And then I'm going to take this leftover piece, I'm going to piece one piece in here, and I'm going to piece one piece in here. And you might be thinking to yourself, but wait, that's going to leave those lines showing. Well, let me ask you. Wrong one.
Huh?
Do you see the lines in here? Unless I point them out, you absolutely do not. We're creating our own topper out of leftover pieces. This one's sliding mostly up under this snowbank that Jack Russell's on. And this sky piece is coming down just over the head of the lab. And by putting a few little sparkly snowflakes up in the sky here, we're taking your eye away from that line. We're also making sure, however, I'm going to make sure that this piece that I'm going to try and butt up against that is absolutely square. So I'm going to trim just a tiny, tiny edge off it, because when I glue those pieces together, I don't ever want anybody to know that I did that. So I want those to be absolutely matched up. When I did this, I actually matched them. I taped them from the back. To hold them absolutely secure. And then I put them in my frame and cut around my frame. I want them right down together. I'm going to bring this one, where did my other piece go? I'm forever misplacing stuff, guys. I just cut it off. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah. I'm going to come and get this piece here. I have to see how much room I have left. Yeah, I need about 1.5 inches maybe there, which I have at the top of that, don't I? So let's take this, kind of cut that off, where I'm getting about 1.5 inches. And let's bring this up from the bottom. And I want that edge to go edge to edge very firmly, and I'm going to square that edge up again, because I want it to be exactly straight, so there's no gaps. You'll see a tiny change in color, but nothing to get worried about. I can go up to here. I'm going to now glue my topper in place right over that, and then I'm going to trim around this topper sheet, and I am going to have an absolutely beautiful snow scene with my puppies in this topper set. So what I did not do was tape this bottom piece yet, so I'm going to put a little piece of tape on here so I can match it up really nicely. I'm going to turn this tape over, and I'm going to slide this right into my tape right to the side here. So it butts up really well. Press that down. I'm going to add some glue to this. I included in my glue, I'll be gluing the backs of those corners, because I want those corners to stay in the sheet in this case. Talk about using every inch of your cardstock, huh? There is no waste in this kit, guys. But we're going to get 3 beautiful cards out of a kit we're supposed to get 1 from. And here we go. I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to go as close to that border as I can because I want to kind of even this out just a little bit as I go. Go a little bit higher here. Don't worry about the fact that I'm getting glue there because, again, I can use my baby wipe to wipe off my excess glue. I'm going to go around and I'm going to trim this up. You may decide the 3rd card isn't worth it, but I like these little puppies enough that I wanted 3. And if you look at our layering here, you're going to see that we got really beautiful layering on all 3 pieces. We just had to do a little paper piecing in this last one. So now this is ready to put right on my card. There we go. Has a little wider silver border if you wanted to. I'm not taking those tape lines off, by the way. I'm just putting those there to hold everything together nicely. So they're just going to stay there. There's no reason why they can't. They're underneath my work. I'm going to create some tape flags for myself so I can center this topper that we've worked on. Sometimes also I've talked about tearing the tape down lower and tearing it both directions, but sometimes if you want to make a tape flag, you got to get that tape loose at the top. You can kind of shake it loose sometimes. Sometimes you can take a pen and hold the tape in place and peel a little bit of the paper back. Okay, here we go. And we're going to have nice wide borders on this one. If you don't want your borders quite this wide, you can start with either a smaller card. You could have trimmed the card just a little bit. Or if you want to, you can use some of the techniques that we've used before, putting corners, silver corners, and borders onto your mirror board and give it that etched look around it if you choose to do so. We've done enough on this card that I decided that I wasn't going to do any extra here. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in place, and I like that just like it is. So I'll line that card and it will be finished. Next up, let's use this one. Set this aside for a minute. Let's use this one. I'm going to use another 5x7 card. We've already pre-cut our cardstock to 5 inches wide. The part I want to use is this corner. So I'm going to put my tape on and trim it. Put my cardstock on and trim it down using the back of my card as my guide to get my paper just the right size. Bentley's decided he's going to be a little quieter because now Bryce has him in his lap. So if you're panting, that's not Bryce, it's Bentley. Bentley's a little Yorkie. He's absolutely adorable, but he's also a Spitfire. Okay. Just so you know, I do it too, guys. Got my card off just a little bit right there. My trusty paper cutter. I'm going to make my card just a tad bit narrower to compensate. I'm going to trim down the rest of this cardstock. And so if that side was off, guess what? The other side was a little bit over. So I'll trim that little overage off. Trim this extra piece off the top. we're going to get this topper that we made, bring it in here. We're going to add a sticker to it. We've got some more stickers here. As I said before in the intro to this video, we have so many stickers in the store, including some really nice seasonal ones. So if we're out of something that you want, just keep looking. There's probably another really nice one. Like last time I used Season's Greetings on here. That sheet's been used up, so this time I'm moving to Merry Christmas. It works. I could have gone down and gotten another sheet, but that would not be complying with my request that you always take a look at what you have on hand and use the supplies that you have. When you get our newsletter, you always get a long list of supplies that I've used in the videos, but that doesn't mean you should purchase all of those supplies. You should look at your stash and see what you have that will fit the bill. Because I know that we all get weary of just continuing to buy and buy and buy. I want you to use up some of what you have so you can buy some more from me. And when you're ready, I'll be here. I have lots of cool stuff to buy, but let's use up some of what we have too. And here is a pretty little piece of holly. Sometimes my embellishments are created out of necessity, guys. Okay, I want this to sit approximately right there. And I'm going to put with love here. And this one too will be finished. When you are applying mirror board, let's talk about that for a second. When you're putting down mirror board, I strongly recommend that rather than running the glue bottle around it, like you just saw me do with this topper, that you use tape, or that you take your finger and smooth the glue. Mirror board is so highly reflective that if you don't smooth the glue under mirror board, you'll see the little ripple where the glue line is even after it dries. So that's just a little something I've learned. We've learned that a great deal with these barbecue grills that we're making. Hopefully sometime in the near future I'll be able to do a video for you on those really, really cute gift box we've been making. There we go. Merry Christmas with love. Okay, we'll line that and it will be finished. We still need to glitter these two. So we have 2 out of 3 done. We have 1 left to go. We're going to do this one. We've already saved our cardstock for that. We're getting our European A6 card, which is approximately 4 by 6. We're going to cover a card. We're going to add our topper. We're going to put a tag on it, and Christmas pups will be done. Now, I did not go through showing you how to line your cards this time. Those of you who are followers of our video have seen it 100 times, and that's not really how I want to spend your time. If you have not seen how to line your cards, look at the video that's talking about covering your card, and in there we talk about lining your card as well. So it's a little short video, like maybe 10 minutes, and I'll talk to you in that one about both covering your card and doing your inserts. So again, I'm just not going to spend your time on it today. I still have to do it to do these cards, but you don't need to watch it every time. Okay. As usual, I use the back of my card to try and trim things down, get it all in place. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to go back to this sheet, and I'm going to get this very special gift for you off of here. I hope I showed you something kind of fun and different to do here, to use some more of what would be thrown away. I always feel highly successful when I can do that. When I can pull something back that was intended as a throwaway and use it in a fun way. So I hope you feel good when you have a chance to do that also. Give it a try. It's not as involved as it sounds. It's pretty easy, and it is lots of fun. Peeling a few little 3D stickers off the back of this one. I decided to set this one up on some 3D foam squares. I think we got all those now. I'm going to stick this right here. And there's our third card. I'm going to take just a minute, put down some glitter accents, line these, and I'll be right back. Okay, here's our finished cards. This is our paper pieced one to make the paper piecing down below less evident when I put my little glitter accents in. And we've talked before about tasteful glittering and not going too glitter crazy. One way you can get the tasteful accents on this one is just to kind of follow the little silver lines that they've put in the foiling in the snow. That's actually kind of a good guide to where to put your glitter. However, I did go out beyond those and into the surrounding snow to kind of continue a few of those lines to make that part of the whole picture. And up here, I added a few little snowflakes, just dots, with my glitter pen in order to be able to create some snowflakes in the sky, which takes away from my paper pieced line at the top of that. And didn't that turn out cute? Lined it with my matching liner. This card is done. Next up, we have our Merry Christmas with Love. Same exact treatment. I did put glitter accents up in the trees where I have snowy branches. I'll always put some glitter in those snowy branches because it looks really nice. I lined this one with the matching liner. Now, because I had one piece of liner paper to match this set of 12, and we got 3 cards out of here. The 2 5x7 cards are lined. The third card, the 4x6, I didn't have a liner for that one. So I will probably use up some of my leftover border pieces. I may look and see if I have an extra piece of liner from one of my other kits. Or I could just stamp a greeting onto the inside of that if I chose to do so. But that's our 3 kits from the Wagging Winter Tales. Okay, next up we're going to do my favorite cards in this set. I absolutely love this one. This is called Stunning Winter Stag, and it certainly is that. That beautiful deer standing next to a river or a little creek. Here's our layers. Here's our base. So let's take this one and this one. So there's 2 of our 3. Let's look at this one and get our most complete, which I think is going to be this piece up here. I'll take this one out. This will become our 3rd base layer. Start divvying up our pieces. Well, I didn't want to pop out that direction. I'll just come at it the other way. There we go. Let's put this one on here. Put this one. The more detailed the image, the more carefully you have to pop them out. That one there. Got another nice big one here. And that one. Another nice one here. There's the back of the deer here. And some nice bushes here. Go around this one and give that a couple layers there, since those are pretty small. And I'll take this one and put it with that. I've got a couple little rocks here. Surprisingly, those rocks in the river really add something to everybody. Gets some rocks. Okay. I think that's, oh, here's another little tiny one. We'll put both these on one. Okay. Take these out. And let's get these layered up. I'll be right back. Okay, we have all of our toppers layered up, and I think they look great. You can see lots of dimension here. Our third one's kind of covered up over here. I wanted to show you before I start cutting where we're going to get our cardstock from. On our 5x7 card, we're going to get it from right here. And then we have two of the A6 cards, and we're going to get those right here and right here. So we're going to get all three off this one sheet of cardstock. So I wanted to show you that before I started cutting into things. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut those faces. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's that dissected piece of card. I cut a 1/2 inch strip off the side. This one is 5 inches wide to cover my 5x7. It's a little longer than that. We'll trim that off. And then I took the remaining piece and cut it 4 1/8 inches wide. So I got two 4 1/8 inch tall panels, and then I'll trim off the end. So I just wanted to show you how I had dissected that card. Let's go ahead and get started here in covering our card. I'm going to grab myself a 5x7 card. And we'll start by covering our cardstock. And I believe that in my sample card I trimmed this down to 5x6.5 also, which I often do with 5x7s, because the 5x7 can be a lot of canvas to cover when making a card. And sometimes I just think the elements look a little better if they're just not quite as long. So I'm going to put this on here, and then I think I'll trim it down a 1/2 inch. I'll get it stuck in there before I mean to. Okay. And since I already trimmed this to 5 inches, I actually have to place this card more carefully than I do a lot of times. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. Actually, I'm off just a tad there too, so I'm going to fix that while I'm at it. A little bit, I guess it doesn't matter which way I trim. That does. Trim this off. And then, let's see, I want to be 6.5 inches long. So I got that the way I want it. And I'm going to put this layered shape. Make sure you know where your fold is. This layered shape here. And I want this tag. And then this is okay, this soft brown, but the dark brown is so much prettier that I'm going to take this border off of here, and I'm going to put that border over the top of this softer brown line. Save these little pieces because we're actually going to use some of these little pieces on our next card. So I'm going to put this right here because I think it looks good there. It's fun because we're already beginning our Christmas classes, and we've got our Crafters Weekend coming up here. I'm really beginning to feel the spirit of the holidays already. I've been wearing my holiday shirts and listening to Christmas music while I craft. Really kind of helps set the stage for everything. Yeah, I'm a little crazy. But then we knew that. Okay. Now I can put this one up on some foam squares or not. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one flat, and I'm going to put this one up on a few foam squares. I'll pop these on here. I accidentally sent I believe I may have sent my Crafters Weekend email nationwide. If I did, then you got an announcement for an Oregon event. That wasn't intentional, although if you wanted to join me, I'd be happy to have you. It's a little bit far to travel, but it is going to be lots of fun, so if you want to drop by out here in Portland and see us, that's cool. That's going to be a lot of fun. I know at least some of you got it, because Judy wrote to me this morning and said, boy, this sounds like really fun, but from Michigan? I don't think so. Those late night emails you get me every time. Okie dokie. I see I got a little bit of glue on here. Maybe it came off already. Won't hurt to have another one sitting here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, put a few little sparklers in. And again, if you don't have time to wait for it to dry, our quickie glue pen and our ultra fine glitter, or if you already have those, is a perfect crafting medium for these cards, and it dries a lot faster than the Stickles does. So consider using that. Now when I do this Stag card, I think everything along this river, I keep calling it a river, it's a tiny, tiny little creek, but I think everything along this tiny creek would be fairly icy. So I'm putting quite a bit of glitter around the creek bed, because I just think that makes sense, and you know, it's kind of pretty. You'd have quite a bit of iciness on those twigs around the creek. Put a little bit here on some of these twigs. Now you'll notice that I'm covering a lot of area, but I'm going super light when I put it on, so I'm just kind of getting some just little hints rather than big blobs of glitter. And we've said before that I like to kind of cover some of these silver marks. I think they've done a good job of kind of showing you where you might have just little bits of reflection showing. So we can hit some of those. I'm gonna kind of hit these rocks out here in the little creek bed. I'm going to hit the snow on the top of that wall because that would be sparkly. I'm going to hit the house tops just a little bit. As we got snow sitting there. Just tasteful little lines here and there to make things sparkly and beautiful. And I think that would about do it. There we go. First card done, guys. Okay, next we're going to do an A6 card, and we have this piece we've cut here that will be a perfect fit for an A6. We'll trim a little off the end, but it's height-wise is just right now. So I'm going to add my tape here, and I'm going to pop this card face. In fact, I'm actually going to do it this way because I want it to match to the fold. Pop my card face on here so I get it nice and straight. That looks good. I got a tiny bit of trim to do on the back side. So get rid of this little piece, and I have a tiny bit of overlap on the other side that I didn't really want, but I did. So that looks good. Next, we're going to add a piece off our trim sheet. We have this really pretty border over here. So I'm going to take this border out. I'm being careful because I'm going to use that piece underneath there in my next card, so I'm going to be a little careful about how I cut that out. I'm going to put this one here, kind of use up some of this space on this side, and then I also am going to take this Thinking of You at Christmas tag right here, and I'm going to put it here where it starts up on my layering sheet and kind of wraps over the edge of the layering, which will kind of pull those images all together. Now, because this is kind of overlapping here and it's sitting up on one layer, I'm going to put two foam squares. I'm just going to double a foam square and put two foam squares underneath that tag so I can get it to sit flat. And then I'm going to put one foam square on the other end. And that will give me a nice solid base for that, even though it's hanging over the edge a bit there. Put a little glue on here. I'm not going to go through putting all the sparkles on because I'm going to put them in all the same places that I put them on the last card. So I'm going to do that off camera, so I'm not taking your time for that. I'll show you the finished results when we're all done, but there's number 2. Beautiful. Okay, I've got another A6 card here. We've got that last piece that we trimmed up. Actually, I have a little tiny ripple in the corner of my card. So I'm going to make sure that my extra gets to that side so I can trim off that little corner bump. Put my tape down. Often that's how we decide what I get to work on here in the shop, because things will come in and something will be a little corner bumped here or there, and anything that comes in damaged comes to the shop for me to work on. Oh darn. And no, I'm not down in the warehouse banging things up, so I get to work on them. Although I think sometimes girls think I might do that for the things I particularly like. I haven't done that. The carriers usually will take care of that for themselves. Okay, oops, got that just a little crooked there, but that's going to be okay. All right, I'm going to trim this off. And see how I got this just a tiny bit off up here I have a little bit of white showing. I'm not going to worry about that because I want to put this piece right here anyway. So I'm going to straighten it up a little bit using that piece. So let's go ahead and get this glued down before we put our element over the top of it. It's nice when I already planned to put that there. If I hadn't, it may have ended up there anyway just to cover my little boo-boo, because sometimes the creative elements you see in my cards happen because I'm covering something up. It just happens. Friend Kelsey just walked in. Say hi, Kelsey.
Hello.
Bryce is our cameraman once again. Say hi, Bryce.
Hello.
We know he loves it when I do that to him. Okay, let's see. All right, I need one more piece of trim to work with. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. I'm going to take, see this piece of trim right here? I like that. But I don't have an absolutely solid run here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this out. And then I'm going to snip it where my little label goes so you can't see that it's not a complete piece of trim. So I will put this here. Actually, I guess I put it further in. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this right over the top. And you can't tell that I'm kind of improvising a little bit there. So let me put those pieces down. We are just about to wrap up here, guys. Thanks for tuning in and for spending spending your time with us. These are really, really, really fun cards to make. I love the fact that you can do so much with them, with the layering pieces, and they really don't require a lot of embellishment. So these cards go together really fast. And if you use the glitter to add the glitter or stickles or the medium of your choice to add a little extra accent with the glittering, they are really, really, really beautiful cards when you're done. Put this last tag on here. We'll position that right there. I'll trim off this little edge. Whoops, I guess I got to put that on there yet too. That's okay. Trim off that little edge there. And that's going to be beautiful. I'm going to go off camera for just a minute, anchor this piece, glitter it up a little bit, and we'll show you the finished results. Okay, so here's our 3 completed cards from that set. As I said, this is, I think, my favorite out of this Stepping Into Christmas set. I think they're just stunning. Really, really pretty. Thanks for joining us today. It's been great fun to present to you the second video of this Stepping Into Christmas card kit. As you know, there's a total of 4 videos, so I hope you'll tune in and watch the others. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button for our YouTube channel, and that way, if you hit, especially if you hit the little bell, it will tell you anytime we've posted a new video. Or better yet, click that link down in the comments section to sign up for our newsletter. Then I'll send you a link to the videos and the supplies list that we use in all of our cards. I'm Debbie from Simply Special Crafts, and we'll see you next time.